All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm about to try something pretty much certifiably insane. I'm going to try to go steal a wyvern egg. Now, I've been flying around this place all up and down the canyon looking for one. And I think I found one right there. Right there. Looks to be a fire one. So I'm going to... This is not what I would imagine to be simple to do by yourself. Not simple to do, period. But definitely not simple to do yourself. But we're going to give it a whirl, right? Is that a guy right there? It is. We're going in. And we're off. So, I've got about 190% speed, and they're going to all be coming after me now. And I'm not even going to look back for now. I'm just going to take off as fast as I can go. And if I can't make it, I can't make it. But I'm sure as heck going to give it everything I've got. We're going to head out of here. And here they come. Wow, these guys are way behind me. And they've already given up. Wow. So that was pretty awesome, I must say. That's a moment that will get your heartbeat racing. Yeah, they're still, well, I'm not sure if he's trying to come after me or what. But we're going to go ahead and get out of here and head back to base. All right, guys, so I'll continue this video once I get back to base. All right, so here we are back at base, and I've got the fertilized wyvern egg. And you can see it's the fire version, and it's a level 60. Wow. Okay, so the egg health is pretty high. So I'm about to start this thing, hopefully anyway. I'm about to start this thing going. I've got a bunch of torches in a circle here. Unfortunately, I'm not quite sure how to do this. Let's go ahead and drop it. Okay, so it says too cold. All right, so let's start the process. Big guy, we need you to back up. Let's see what it says. Too cold. Okay, so it says too cold. We're going to give it a second. Okay, guys, look like that's not doing it. So we'll pause the video here again, and we'll be back in just a second, see if we can get this thing to stop saying too cold. All right, everybody, welcome back. As you can see, we finally got everything going, and it is hot. The egg is incubating. I have cranked up the timer on the egg, so this thing will go by a lot quicker. I've already spent multiple hours trying to get this thing to work, but as you can see, we had to put up 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, about 14, maybe 15 or so if I missed one. But it is hot. And so I'm expecting this thing to hatch here in the next few minutes. I got to get out of here because I'm losing health. So I can't be too terribly close to it, but remember, this thing is a level 60, which, let's go ahead and get up here. So we got a level 60. Both of the parents were level 60, so very nice. I expect that's actually the highest level that of any that I've seen so far as they were flying around. I'd say most of them seem to be in the low teens or so. So this is good news. All right, so we're doing good on our time here. I actually had to build this little taming area because unfortunately, not long after I got this thing going and finally got the temperature right for this thing to start incubating, a raptor came by and was trying to get to the egg. All right, and I'll admit I know very little of anything about hatching these things. So as soon as this thing hatches, we're going to see what we can do. Now, I do have some milk here. Holy cow, this does not give much time. Okay, so we've got a little bit of milk, but the time that is on the milk is extremely little. And there he is. Okay, so we're not going to worry about that right now. Okay. Really? Okay. So this guy is jet black. All right, I'm going to keep. Turn off. Really? Okay. All right, I don't think they will eat any meat, but I'm going to try and... All right, so it says he wants care. Okay, that's interesting. And so we can access his inventory. Let's take a few minutes here and let's just look at his stats. I'm assuming the stats to the right are what he will be whenever he's fully grown. So his health is already at 848, so that's very nice. On his way to 3,262. Okay, stamina 680. I've heard... Yeah, I tell you what, let's go ahead and see. Okay, it does. Okay, so that will extend the amount of time these things are viable. I'm not sure if we're going to need some more or what, but... Alright, so this little guy, at some point, will want to start drinking the milk. There are 6 in there right now, and it looks like the timers are doing pretty good. So let's get back to the stats. Alright, so we got 3262 health, 680 on the stamina. His weight, 406, melee damage, 147, and no boost to the movement speed. Okay, so interesting. So let's see if imprinting says 0. Let's see if that changes it. Alright, so let's see. Imprinting is still 0. Okay. So my understanding is the imprinting will actually give some sort of bonuses to the stats. Being a level 60, I'm interested to see how this goes. And let's take a good look at the little guy. Let's turn off all these. Yeah, he's jet black. So, very nice. And again, I have no idea if that's the norm for all of them or what. So it says right now that he wants care. He won't want care again for another 4 hours. So I'll have to take a look and see what that's going to mean. He is gaining health very quickly. Again, I did speed up things. The maturation process, he's still a baby. And I know that eventually I'm going to need to let's go ahead and turn that off since the sun is out now. Really? All right, so as he gets bigger, still nothing there. I'm looking for any signs that it wants me to do something, because the last thing I want to do, I worked too hard to get this egg. The last thing I want to do is, let's see, we want to disable wandering for sure. It says he's following me. Of course, I don't believe he can actually move as a baby, but let's see. Okay, no. So he can't move. Of course, he might be also stuck. Okay, go ahead and get rid of that one and grab that. All right, let's see if maybe he was just stuck. All right, guys, so things are progressing on. As you can see, we still have, we're at the baby stage right now. And it looks like this is going to take a little while. So we'll be back when things have moved along a little farther. All right, welcome back, everyone. And I'm going to start this portion of the video by apologizing. There's been a lot that's happened, and taming this particular wyvern has been a lot more than I expected. First of all, it has taken several hours to get to this point. As you can see, our little guy is finally all grown up. And what started out over here in this area, and I had to build around him to protect him from all of the raptors that decided to come into this otherwise fairly safe area, particularly with all the dinos I've got around here. So once we finally got him hatched and we got him up through a certain point, finally had to let him out of the pen, and now you see him in his fully grown state. Now, I had recorded quite a bit of footage to show you guys. He did finally mature at a level 60. I did not get any imprinting bonus because I had turned up the time so much, or the multiplier so much, to get this thing done quicker because it was taking so much time. And I didn't want to spend days trying to do this thing. So I turned up the multipliers. That didn't give me any imprinting. So he came out fully grown to adult at a level 60. Now, as you can see right now, he is at a level 94. I also did some leveling up with him and had filmed that as well, showing you guys where I put the extra level. So let's take a look. If you remember our guy as an adolescent, I believe it was, or maybe even just as a baby, it showed 3,200 here. About 3,200 health and about 650 on stamina. And then weight was about 406, 409, somewhere in that range. I believe 406. And then movement speed was at 100. So I've pumped up movement speed, melee a little bit. You only get just a few percentage points each time you do that. So that's not going to be something I want to pump a whole lot right now. But as you can see, I did pump health, and he's still trying to gain that health. And I did pump stamina one time, so stamina gets a nice bump. The reason why stamina becomes important as in addition to weight, because this guy is kind of like a Quetzal in that it can carry the same animals that a Quetzal can carry. So that would be very handy to have that type of thing, because as far as I know, there are no Quetzals on this map. So I wanted to bump some weight. And this is a little bit. We've gone from, I think, 406 to 649. So we're on our way there. Still not nearly as high as I would like to have it. Health is doing good. But one thing that I've found that could be very important, depending on how you want to use this guy, is the stamina. Now, let's fly around a little bit with this guy. And I want to show you some things regarding the stamina. First of all, All right, the sounds on this thing are very, very deep and throaty. I love it. So, so let's get that out of the way. I absolutely love that. Now, the turning radius on this guy is not great. He's not going to turn around as quickly as you want him and he's not going to be able to target things as quickly and precisely as you want to, because he has a big, big turning radius. Now, that's to be expected. I mean, if you're used to riding a Pteranodon, for example, that makes extremely quick movements and is very fast and maneuverable, then this thing is going to be like driving a Mack truck in comparison. But to me, that's a great thing, because it should be. This thing is huge, and it should be a lot more difficult and a lot more sort of a lazy handling. And I know this sounds like basically I'm talking about a racing game and how a particular car handles, which in all fairness is what I'm used to. Spent most of my time playing racing sims, but in this case, I think it's applicable. You see an animal that's this much bigger and much more powerful, it makes sense that his handling wouldn't be quite as good. Now, back to the stamina. Now, just flying around, we've used up a little bit of stamina. You can see, not a ton. But, so let's fly around a little bit and just see what we get. I am at full sprint as I'm doing this, and you can see the speed. Now, remember, I've bumped up the speed some. This guy's getting around pretty quick. My bird that I used to steal the egg was at 190, maybe 192% speed on an RG. So, and I was able to pretty easily pull away from those guys. Now, things might have been different had they been right on me from the beginning, but I was able to pull away from them, no doubt. So, right there you can see I was flying around, and he used some stamina, but still not a ton. So you've got quite a bit of stamina doing that. So where's the stamina problem that I was referring to? And the reason why you might want to bump that up. That comes in if you're interested in using what we're all interested in these dragons for, and that is the fire. When you use that I can assure you is going to use some stamina. Now, if you're on the ground, once you use that stamina, let's go ahead and get a gauge. Let's use it and then take a look at the stats. All right, look at the stats. It went down to 623 immediately, and as you can see, it recovers very quickly. But if you're fighting, if you're going to use this guy as a fighter and attack quite a bit with it, then I would imagine you would want to use, instead of the standard left mouse button, which is to bite, you're going to want to use that fire. And if you use it in quick succession, and I'm going to use it just as quick as I can, and as you can see, there's a delay because I'm continually clicking this button. All right, as you can see, I've used up all my stamina. So now, not only do I not have any stamina left, but it's going to take me a second here to regen, which thankfully is pretty quick. But it's going to take me a minute, and I don't even have the ability to fly away. So if whatever I was fighting isn't already dead, I might be in some trouble because I have no stamina to keep going. And that's after, as I said, a one bump to get us to 748 in stamina. So I plan on bumping that some more. But this guy has, in addition to, let's face it, the cool factor of being able to say that you now have a wyvern, or a dragon as I call them, just to keep it simple. And this guy, look at it, he doesn't want to look at the camera as I move this thing around. So he's a little shy. Also, you remember he started out black. Whenever he, or I should say she, because it's a female, whenever she first hatched, then this thing was black. But now, as you can see, it has turned out a much different color. So I found that interesting. I wasn't expecting that. So really, the best thing about these guys is they take over for the Quetzals, and they're very powerful mounts. So these guys could be overpowered. Time will tell. Again, I've just just gotten this one, so it's hard for me to tell at this point just how powerful it would be up against something, the stronger animals on the map, like a Rex or something like that. I'm not sure if there are any Gigas on this particular map, but something like maybe a couple of Rexes. If I were trying to fight those, how strong would it be and able to hold its own? And for that reason, because I'm not quite sure about that, I plan on trying to get. If we go back into the stats, I'm planning on taking this health up to at least 5,000 before it's all said and done. Maybe more, depending on what use I find for it. But I did want to pump some movement speed, get a little bit of melee damage, although the small number of percentage points you get for each move there just is hardly worth it at this particular point in time. And I've got some more weight for sure that I want to pump on this guy. So overall, I am extremely happy with how things went. I've had some snafus on the recording side of things. Actually, the footage, some of the footage that I recorded earlier, talking about some of the same things I'm talking about right now, the footage actually did come out. The problem was the frames per second on the video. It was like looking at a slideshow, so I'm not sure what happened there. So I'll take a look at that for future videos. And at this point, now it's time to just have a little fun on this guy. I appreciate you guys coming along for the ride. Now I have to admit, I've gotten the itch, so I'm ready to go back and do this all over again and get another one. Hopefully I'll be able to get all three variants before it's all said and done. Because, frankly, I just want to see how they all work out. We've got the fire variant, the electricity variant, and then also the poison variant. So it'll be interesting to see if I can find eggs and manage to be as successful as I was this time at stealing them of each of the variants. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Hope you've had fun. Hope you've learned something. I know I've learned a ton through this process, having done it gone through it for the first time. So again, I hope you guys have really enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoy the content overall on the channel. Feel free to leave me some comments and suggestions below. And we'll see you next time on another ARK video.